Moto jacket. Hot, hot, hot. It was such a hot picture. They reposted it on the Lala Anthony collection page, Lala's page, the page. It seemed like the picture just went viral for a little while. I kept seeing it on my Explore tab for about 3 or 4 days. Like, it really blew up. Leah gained a bunch of followers from that, like a lot. I'm talking about thousands of followers. So shout out to Lala Anthony collection for that one. And speaking of Leah Javinci, I'm going to come and drop in her latest release, Handstands. I've played it before, but we gonna hear it again because we got a shout out to our girl Leah Javinci, who bought that bag. Yes, she bought that bag, y'all. So we finna go into her latest release, Handstands, and then when we come back, got juice. Oh shit, I got some juice, y'all. It's your girl, the Robin H. You're listening to Music Monday. Come on, Leah, let's go ahead and kick this one out for them boys. My bad, y'all. That's dragging it. Y'all know I have nothing but Leah Javinci locked and loaded. My bad, y'all. That was my fault. Told you, one woman army in the building. Shout out to Leah Javinci dragging it. I'll be playing that at the end. Since I went ahead and just gave y'all a little piece of it, I'm gonna go ahead and end out with that. Yeah, and that'll work good for the Got Juice segment. That'll work perfect. So right now you're listening to Music Monday. It's your girl, the Robin H. Here we go. Handstands. Let's get it, Leah.
Yeah. We bought that bag. Pussy popping handstands for the rubber bands. Pussy popping handstands for the rubber bands. Pussy popping handstands for the rubber bands. I let you lick it, then stick it, you throw 100 diamonds dancing on my neck, doing dumbass tricks. I'll be damned if I'm played by a bum ass bitch. Different niggas in my DM doing dumbass shit. You shoot your shot, but I ain't looking for no bum ass dick. They better got me making faces like a monster, doing backstrokes like I'm Phelps if you want some. Got so much money switching whips like it's NASCAR. Your nigga groupie bitch, he fiending just to fuck a rap star. Tryna have me walking side to side like I'm the pop star. I was bottle flexing on him, yeah, I got a pop star. Gonna take you more than couple bands to get me up in that car. Know you plotting, know you scheming, how to get your rocks on. You in your feelings now, bitch, cause your man's missing. Instagram thugging, now you sneak dissing. When I see you, keep the energy, don't act different. Bitch, I don't even talk, I just drag bitches. Pussy popping handstands for the rubber bands. Pussy popping handstands for the rubber bands. Pussy popping handstands for the rubber bands. I let you lick it, then stick it, you throw 100 bands. Pussy popping handstands for the rubber bands. Pussy popping handstands for the rubber bands. Pussy popping handstands for the rubber bands. I let you lick it, then stick it, you throw 100 bands. I'm a freaky, be freaking out when I bend it over or bust it down. Pillow talking, who pussy this? Shut the fuck up, nigga, or pull it out. You back there, see them pussy lips? Shit dry, give them mouth to mouth. Only to kill it again with some long strokes. I ain't tapping now. Gotta be a freaky nigga just to please her. A skeet skitter, an ass eater. Get all in it like a fucking ass eater. Finger fucking in the Rari 2-seater. Then proceed to get the slug and Derek Jeter. The way you beat the pussy up, I might gotta call Peter. Ain't saving niggas worth of FEMA. Scale of 1 to 10, I'm a 20 on any meter. Sunna Rosanna is what I'm hotter than. Bomb pussy on deck, I'm like the Taliban. Only bad bitches rolling with me in my caravan. Pulling up for nothing less than 100 bands. Pussy popping handstands for the rubber bands. Pussy popping handstands for the rubber bands. Pussy popping handstands for the rubber bands. I let you lick it, then stick it, you throw 100 bands. Pussy popping handstands for the rubber bands. Pussy popping handstands for the rubber bands. Pussy popping handstands for the rubber bands. I let you lick it, then stick it, you throw 100 bands.
All right, and we're back. Leah Javinci. That was Handstands. What y'all think about that? I kind of blended it in with the bounce segment because it made me want to bounce. And they have those 808s remind me of the bounce music. It's no samples, you know. Well, somebody come over here and snatch me off my little area, you know. So shout out to Leah Da Vinci for handstands. And now, the moment you guys have been waiting for. The moment the petty publicist hits the building. Are y'all ready? Got juice? Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, Lord, where do I start? Ugh. I think I have 3 flavors of juice for y'all today. Now, me personally, I like different flavored juices, but some of the juices can be a little sour. You know, grapefruit juice, a little sour. You got to add a little something to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out with my favorite, fruit punch. Fruit punch, Lord Jesus. Okay, so I love fruit punch. I love apple juice. I love pineapple juice. I love orange juice when I'm sick. I don't even know what kind of juice to start with on this, y'all. I'm telling y'all, this has been one of the craziest weekends in hip hop in a long time. Feuds have ended, feuds have began, and feuds have escalated. So I don't even know where to start with Got Juice, y'all. I ain't lying. My petty ass, I'm usually the one that's like, hey, this, and this, and I can't even do that. So I'm just gonna start with what I feel is some good news for hip hop, especially if you're a fan of Drake and Meek Mill. So over the weekend, while some other shit was popping off, and I do mean popping, Drake and Meek Mill reunited and they actually squashed the beef. So shout out to Drake and Meek Mill for ending their beef. What's beef? Beef is when you have an issue with somebody and rather than settle it by talking it out or stuff like that, you want to box it out, you're ready to fight. That's beef. But when you're grown, you sit down and work through your differences and you find out, you know what? Sometimes beef really ain't beef. Sometimes it's just tofu with beef flavoring. I'm sorry, y'all. It's a bit much. It's a bit much. I'm trying to get to that third topic. It's a bit much, but yeah, Drake actually had a concert, I want to say in Boston. And in the middle of the concert, he kind of stopped the show and was saying something about how, you know, things have changed and all that good stuff. Let me see if I can find the audio for that while I'm talking about the actual topic. So what happened was, I guess they just said, forget it, you know, everything's over. And what happened is, Drake's exact words were, Meek, that's my brother. And he said that after Meek performed the Dream and Nightmares intro, and that did end a long-standing beef between the two artists. And if you remember, it started back in 2015 after Meek said that Drake had hired ghostwriters to write his song. Drake fired back diss track after diss track. If y'all remember, that was Charged Up. Everybody said, oh, Drake ain't gonna do it, Charged Up, so laid back. But then when you went and listened to it, it sounded like somebody chastising their son for doing something wrong. So then after Charged Up, oh man, back to back knocked it out. The most famous line, shout out to my boss bitches, wife and niggas. Like, that was the line that just, I felt ethered him in a lot of ways. But then if you remember, Meek tried to drop a couple of diss tracks, nothing really happened, and then it kind of simmered down. Then Meek had to go to jail for probation violation, and during that time, Drake offered some words of support to Meek. Fast forward to this past weekend, here you go. They ended the beef. And he brought him out. Drake did bring him out, and while Meek was performing the Dreams and Nightmare intro, Drake was on stage the entire time. They dabbed each other up, they danced around. So shout out to two grown men for doing what they did. Let me see if I can play this audio, and this is Drake saying use him and Meek as an example in squashing beef. Let me see if I can get this audio for you guys. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. Okay, it's not long.
More peace in the world. We need more love in the world. Meek Mill, that's my brother, that's my nigga from day one. So we were able to do this tonight in front of y'all, and I'm very honored that you were here to witness it. And I thank you to Meek Mill and all his Dream Chasers family for coming to Boston.
So, shout out to Drake for that. If you notice, he did say he wishes everybody used this as an example. And being that happened, something else happened in the midst of that. Drake was just like on a reunite frenzy, I guess, because then shortly afterwards, Chris Brown and Drake started following each other again on social media. And if you guys didn't know, Chris Brown and Drake fell out really, really bad. Sources say it's music. Other sources say it was Rihanna. I really don't know, but I do know those guys had been beefing for a minute. So to see Drake and Chris Brown actually being man enough to say, hey, you know what? Let's just at least start by following each other, then maybe, just maybe, dope music is on the way from the three of those men. So shout out to Drake, shout out to Meek Mill, and shout out to Chris Brown for all being stand-up men and being examples in this music industry to the younger ones. When you get a certain age, the word OG is used so loosely nowadays. The word big homie is used so loosely nowadays. And in my day and age, that wasn't a word you just used all the time. When you heard OG, that was somebody who was really certified in the game. And certified in the game don't mean they went to jail one day and came out. They're OG. No, certified means they put in work. They got it out the mud. That was an OG. Big homie was the person who answered to the OG. But they handled all the little youngsters, little soldiers. So if you notice, the game is so fucked up because nobody knows the terminology. They're just using words, and social media has a lot to do with it. And now, speaking of social media, let me stop the music. Pause. There is something that happened, I think that was Friday or Saturday, with two female hip hop artists. It was so horrible. And the reason why I say it was so horrible, hear me out, guys. For female hip hop, that it could have set us back. I'm not saying it did, but it could have set us back. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I am talking about, it finally came to a head, y'all. Nicki Minaj and Cardi B exchanged words and hands over the weekend at Harper's Bazaar New York Fashion Week lunch party. I have some tea on that. I know this has got juice. If you notice, my tone has changed. It's just a hard subject to cover. It is. I know it, especially for somebody like me. I am a petty publicist. It seems like I would be just reveling in this. This is very hard for me to cover, but let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. Okay, so here's what is being reported. I'm going to give what's being reported, then I'm going to give my opinion, then I'm going to get my ass up out of here. So what's being reported is social media is being blamed for the recent problems between Nicki and Cardi. So what's been happening is, we're all human. We might see somebody tweet something or post something on Instagram or Facebook and we like it. Facebook, we might love it, because you can love, like, hate, cry, all that stuff with Facebook. But you can like people's topics. You can like people's ideas. You can like people's thoughts. You can like whatever you want. It's your social media. So what happened is, let me backtrack and explain why I feel like